Hallo zusammen, I'm your vlog Dave. 3 more to go. Why 3 more? Well, because I've already talked about the previous Rammstein tracks on their 7th album Rammstein, or Untitled, depends on what you want to call it I guess. And now I'm gonna deal with the last remaining 3 ones, and the first one is Weit Weg. What is this song about? What does it translate to in English? What are the lyrics about, or what could they be about at least? Because, of course, to some degree that's gonna be my interpretation of things. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Let's find out what this song is about linguistically as well. Let's learn some German with Rammstein. Let's dive into the first verse of the song. What is it about? Niemand kann das Bild beschreiben. Gegen seine Fensterscheibe hat er das Gesicht gepresst und hofft, dass sie das Licht anlässt. Ohne Kleid sah er sie nie, die Herrin seiner Fantasie. Er nimmt die Gläser vom Gesicht, singt zitternd eine Melodie. Nobody can describe the picture or the scenery. Against his window pane, he has pressed his face and hopes she will keep the light on. He never saw her without her or the dress, the mistress of his fantasy or imagination. He takes off the glasses from the face, shakingly singing a melody. So when you compare these lyrics to many other Rammstein lyrics, I'd say they are far less ambiguous. It's not an evaluation of sorts, it's just a statement, an observation I made. And haha, talking about observing things, well, that is sort of the main theme of the song, in some way or another. What's also worth noting about this song in specific, which makes it quite different to many other Rammstein tracks as well, is that here the lyrical I isn't the protagonist. In many other Rammstein tracks you will find the personal pronoun ich, I, for the first person. But here that doesn't really appear. We also know it's a man the lyrical I is singing about. This becomes obvious through the use of the third person singular personal pronoun er, he, indicating masculine. In addition, line 5 also tells us he's observing a woman, which is indicated through the use of the third person singular personal pronoun sie, she. The first line is sort of der Widerspruch, singular, die Widersprüche, plural, the contradiction to the rest of the verse, since it basically explains that the whole setting or the scenery can't be explained or described, which the lyrical I does right afterwards though. He might be so surprised or satisfied that he is unable to put his side into words. Reading more or less between the lines, zwischen den Zeilen, he must have observed her many times before, which is indicated by the temporal adverb nie, never, again in line 5. Ohne Kleid sah er sie nie. He never saw her without the dress, or her dress. You might be wondering why I mentioned both them as a general article and her used as a possessive pronoun here. It's her dress. Simply because both could potentially fit. In this and many cases, dropping an article works in many German, but not in too many English contexts, I don't think. For instance, take a look at this. Ohne Kleid, without dress. You could very well say ohne Kleid in German without sounding too strange, but saying without dress, well, it sounds kinda strange, I think. Lastly, we also learn that he is very, well, sexually aroused or erotically excited. I mean, apart from him staring at her through the window, that could be because, well, he's doing that sort of secretively and hidden, and maybe that also gives him a kick. Or maybe there's another reason that I don't really have an idea about yet. Let's move on to the second verse. Der Raum wird sich mit Mondlicht füllen, lässt sie fallen, alle Hüllen. Der Anblick ist ihm sehr gewogen, spannt seine Fantasie zum Bogen. Der Atem stockt, das Herz schlägt wild, malt seine Farben in ihr Bild. Steht er da am Fensterrand mit einer Sonne in der Hand. The room will fill itself with moonlight, lets them drop all his shells, indicating clothes in this case. The view is very appealing to him, bends or draws, spans his fantasy to a bow. The breath stagnates or sticks, the heart beats wildly, paints his colors into her picture, him standing there at the window border with the sun in his hand. Quite a tough one to translate accurately here and there. The first line is quite simple though. We learn that he's peeping at her or observing her at night, since the lyrical I mentions das Mondlicht, singular, die Mondlichter, plural, the moonlight. By the way, to peep at someone or to observe someone refers to the nouns der Voyeur, singular, die Voyeure, plural, the voyeur, and der Voyeurismus, a noun that only exists in singular, voyeurism. Line 2 makes use of a German expression which doesn't really exist in English as a direct or literal equivalent. It is die Hüllen fallen lassen, to let the shells drop or fall, for die Hülle, singular, die Hüllen, plural, the shell, which in the context of this expression means clothes. It's a poetic, erotic way to say, well, he undresses or she undresses, takes all clothes off basically. I particularly love line 4, because it's really metaphorical and just well written, I think. It serves the whole context as it underlines the man's sexual or erotic desires and fantasies. Spannt seine Fantasie zum Bogen, bends or draws his fantasy to a bow. His fantasies and his wishes expand and grow as he's observing her time and time again, almost culminating in taking some unwanted actions at some point, if you ask me. This metaphor seems to relate to Cupid's arrows. He wants her to love him as well, and not it being a one-sided thing of sorts. He basically wants to hit her with his love arrows. The aforementioned verb spannen, to peep at someone, can also be a total normal, ordinary German verb meaning to bend or to draw, for instance in the context of shooting arrows with a bow. Haha, so here we have it again. In a rather subtle way, there's a slight ambiguity in using that term as well. Line 6 is another cool line. He projects all of his wishes and desires onto or into her, hoping or wishing she would love him as well. He is painting her painting with his colors. In regards to the meaning, the last line is a bit mysterious to me though. Of course, Till once again made use of one of his signature terms, die Sonne, singular, die Sonnen, plural, the sun. Why is it in his hands? I mean, I could see fit that also belongs to the whole, well, I wanna pull the strings, I wanna be the one in charge, in power, I wanna decide what's gonna happen situation. Maybe that also belongs to that. And the sun might be an indicator for his longing to, well, be able to have a public relationship with her and not having to hide or to observe her in the shadows in the darkness of the night. But maybe you have a different idea as to what this could mean. Feel free to tell me in the comments. The chorus, however, goes like this. Ganz nah, so weit weg von hier. So nah, weit, weit weg von dir. Ganz nah, so weit weg sind wir. So nah, weit, weit weg von mir. So close, so far away from here. So close, far, far away from you. So close, we're so far away. Actual stressing, so far away we are. So close, far, far away from me. This is a perspective shift, since here the man seems to be the lyrical I. It's expressing his thoughts, his feelings and emotions. Here we're faced with another contradiction, which basically also is an outline for the whole song and what is expressed in the lyrics, because how can you be so close to someone, yet so far away, or feel so far away? Well, because I guess the lyrical I, the person, the man we're faced with here, he is close to the person in his mind, like mentally, cognitively, in his thoughts and imaginations and his fantasies and whatnot, but he actually isn't physically. You can be close to someone, yet still far away. And because of that, or in combination with that, the whole chorus expresses a sort of, well, a sadness, I think you could say, and also some kind of longing. So I heard you find my videos helpful, entertaining, and you really enjoy them? Well, thank you very much in the first place. The crowdfunding page Patreon is definitely one of the best ways to say thank you, Dave, and to support me. Honest, heartfelt thanks for doing that, because every little bit helps. Thanks for your attention, and now enjoy the rest of the video. We actually don't know if he knows her in person or if they have met before, or if he simply pretends to. Why do I say that? He / in this case the lyrical I makes use of the informal form of address in an inflected way. Dir is the singular dative form of the personal pronoun du, you, which you use when 1. You're talking to kids or young teens, or 2. You know the person in person. You're close to them. For instance, friends or family members. Maybe he was her ex-lover, who knows? Linguistically at least, this is quite an interesting detail. Other personal pronouns used in the chorus are wir, we, mir, me or I. The line "so weit weg sind wir" is quite tricky to translate this way. When we take a linguistic look at it, structure-wise, it reminds of a question, which is missing the question mark. So weit weg sind wir? We're so far away? By writing it this way, it stresses the so far away aspect of the expression, since it's the first thing you hear or read. However, the direct English equivalent, so far away we are, doesn't work and doesn't sound natural or that good at all. Last but not least, let's deal with the 4 remaining lines. Wieder ist es Mitternacht. Sie stehlen uns das Licht der Sonne, weil es immer dunkel ist, wenn der Mond die Sterne küsst. It's midnight again. They steal the sun's light from us, because it's always dark when the moon kisses the stars. Stars. Sorry, I just had to. Parts of this verse are kind of mysterious to me, gotta be honest here as well. I could see fit that he mentions the last 2 lines in regards of him having to observe her in secret and secretively, and when he can't really be seen. Well, at night, basically, which is what I've also addressed before. As a metaphor, the moon could refer to him, and since the lyrical I mentions stars in plural, he might actually observe more than just her alone, like maybe more women. Sie stehlen uns das Licht der Sonne might mean he would like to openly express his Zuneigung, die Zuneigung, singular, die Zuneigungen, plural, his affection to her, but either he himself or external forces, society and whatnot, makes him feel he can't approach her directly. But again, that's just a spontaneous thought I had. At first, the song didn't really stand out to me on the album compared to many other tracks on there, but with time it actually grew on me, and I thought I was a bit hesitant or reluctant to really like it a whole lot at first because of its restrained or restricted, but I think that's actually one of the strengths of this one. Also make sure to check out my other Rammstein analysis videos and translations of many other tracks by them, and also by Lindemann. You might also be interested in that as well. Just click the playlist right here somewhere, probably somewhere around here, and the other video as well, because you will definitely also like it if you liked this video. Thank you very much for watching, feel free to share this as well. I'm your Vlog Dave, tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.